A lot for that. So to discuss more on the performance, Ashutosh Mishra, Head of Research Institutional Equities at Ashika Stockbroking, is here with us. Ashutosh, your thoughts on the numbers this time, and at what point do you think HDFC Bank could become a screaming buy?
So if you look at a number this quarter, there are many positives also. Yes, like Abhishek alluded to the deposit growth problem and the way LCR and CD ratios is currently positioned. Market has a genuine concern that they may have to slow down their loan growth in the future, and that or they have an impact on the NIMs on the other side. But if you look at the way they are opening the branches from last 2 years, the impact of that will also start getting reflected in somewhere down the line in the next 6 to 12-month period, if I say. So we are quite hopeful that the system is currently facing a lot of issue on deposit growth, but the HDFC Bank is doing something very different on that front, and probably that may help them to come out of this issue. But yes, this is a real concern which we need to monitor going forward from here. Now coming to what will be the level on which we can really go gung-ho on this bank. In my view, the current valuation is quite compelling. If you look for not only HDFC, but its own taking together all the subsidiary which it's have post the merger and the way it has completed this huge merger without having big negative. I clearly see this as a screaming buy at this level from the 2 to 3 years perspective.
Oh, you're saying this is screaming buy at this level itself from a 2 to 3 years perspective on HDFC Bank. Okay, got that. What would your read-through be for the other banks? We have, Kotak Mahindra Bank coming out. There's ICICI Bank as well. Actually, Citi put out a note this morning where they said that they're looking at further net interest margin downside for the entire sector, and they've lowered their NIMS estimates for Kotak, HDFC, Axis Federal and ICICI. Would you expect pressure in the other private sector banks as well?
Yes. So if you look at the NIM trajectory of the HDFC Bank versus other banks, HDFC Bank NIMs pre-merger also has not gone up when RBI was increasing the repo rate. The major reason, if you look at they were having a very small portfolio of the home loan, which see the substantial increase in the yield post the RBI increase the interest rate by 240 basis point. So any banks which is having a higher home loan portfolio like ICICI and other is clearly seeing a lot of pressure on the repricing front, and that will also start getting reflected in this result. So across the line, we are going to see a NIMS pressure in this quarter and in coming quarter too. And in that scenario, again focusing back on the HDFC, you are seeing the stable NIMS, which is quite commendable.
So, like you said, for HDFC Bank, despite the pressure that we're seeing, the valuations are cheap. In fact, that's a point that even Macquarie made in their recent note, where they said that overall the compounded growth rate is quite strong for the bank and the valuations are cheap. Do you see that being the case with any of the other banks as well, where valuations are compelling at this point, and perhaps if we do see a dip, then it portends a buy?
So Axis also looks to me quite good at this level, and probably post this result, we will be keenly looking at the management commentary of the Kotak. Although Kotak valuation is not very cheap, but yes, we will be clearly looking at that bank has also underperformed quite a long period of time, and one of the reasons was the management hangover. So it will be very important to look at from that perspective how things will pan out at that end.
Okay, hi Ashutosh. Good morning and good to see you in. Nigel on this side. So what's your preference now in terms of banking names?
So yes, so my first preference, if you ask among the bank, it will be IndusInd. IndusInd Bank will be first, followed by the HDFC and SBI on the larger front. And the smaller one, I like Bandhan at this point of time.
Okay, so you like IndusInd Bank. The numbers come out tomorrow. IndusInd Bank's numbers, it hasn't done much. I mean, in the last 1 month, it's up about 5-6%. But what are your expectations this time around?
So the core business part of it doing quite well for them, and if you look at deposit will be remaining issues for them also. It is the sector-wide issue. We are all saying that as the saver behavior is changing in India at this point of time, and they are moving towards the more market-linked securities. So we are going to see pressure on that front, but in the stable to declining interest rate scenario, normally IndusInd Bank performance remain quite good, and that's why we are going to see a more positive surprise on earnings front from that bank in the subsequent quarter.
Okay, Ashutosh, we'll let you go on that note. Thanks a lot for joining. And by the way, the pre-opening